We are here waiting for two giant Talmidei Chachamim. It was known to me that these Talmidei Chachamim finished learning the entire Shas Bavli after 7 years, page after page, in various places around the globe, many places in Eretz Yisrael and all over the world, a page after page after page, until they finally finished the entire Shas. Perhaps if they do come, we will have a chance to ask them some questions. But we will have to wait and see if in fact today they will reconvene here. I believe they have a session, a chavrusa, that they're planning to learn together.
מה קורה? ברוך השם.
Hi guys. I see you're about to learn. Can we disturb you for a little while, perhaps ask you some questions on the last Masechet that you learned?
Why not?
That would be Masechet Nida. You just finished entire Shas Bavli. You got a Shekoyach and a Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Why don't you feel at home? Take your hats off.
Thank you.
But I prefer to do this with your Gemara closed.
Okay.
What is Me'es Le'es?
24 hours.
What if we check the mikveh? We measured it and we find that it's less than 40 seah, which is the required amount of water in a mikveh. All the taharos which was done in this mikveh, whether it's B'rishus HaRabim, whether B'rishus HaYachid, are there Tmeos or Tehoros?
Tmeos.
Why is that? Can't we say that Ha'amed Davar Al Chezkoso, this mikveh was okay until now, it was kosher, only now we found that it's not kosher?
No, that means the kelim under chizka.
But why do you prefer to say that Kli was Tameh until now and therefore it remains Tameh? Why don't you prefer to take the chazakah of the mikveh?
Because the mikveh is tameh.
Because we see the mikveh in front of us is chasa. How long can a mother nurse her kid?
4 and 5 years if she didn't stop for 3 days after 2 years.
And if she did?
So she can't anymore.
What does milk come from?
From blood.
Dam nechar.
Benasa chalav.
Chazaka is established by a repetitive sequence of 2 or 3 times.
Machlokas.
Rebbe?
2.
Reb Shimon?
3.
And Daf Yud Gimel, the Gemara says, En ben David ba ad. What is the guf?
It's a place where Hashem stores all the neshemot.
Which means the person who prevents from having kids is delaying the geula. In what manner should a man go to sleep?
Left side.
Should lie down on his left side. And whom did Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi curse?
Whoever goes to sleep on his back.
There's a chaver who has a chazaka that he's always mafrish, tumas and maisos, and this guy died, but he left a place full of fruits, and we don't know if he separated tumas and maisos or not. What do we do?
He of course did give tumas and maisos.
Even if he just obtained the fruits today and he died today?
Yes.
Why?
Because chazaka and chaver that he wouldn't bring to his house something that's not already mitukan.
Is snow considered food or beverage?
None of them.
Correct. What if it's mechashev on it le'achila? Is it metame tumas oichlin?
No.
But if it was mechashev on it for a beverage, lemashke?
Yes.
What if nitma mikzaso? Part of it became tameh. Did the entire thing become tameh?
No.
Why is it?
Because each piece is like its own thing.
Independent piece. What if part of it became taho?
Yes. Everything became taho.
Everything became taho. But seemingly there is a contradiction in what I just said. We say on one hand that if part of it became tameh, the entire thing did not become tameh. But on the other hand, you said that if some of it became taho, the entire thing became taho. So how is it that the entire thing became tameh to begin with?
That the snow went inside the air of a cheres kli that was tameh, and then everything becomes tameh.
Very good. In this Masechet we learn according to Rabbanon, Rov and Chazaka. What do we prefer?
Chazaka.
What is the name of the angel that is responsible for pregnancy?
Laila.
What does he do?
He goes before Akash Baruch Hu and he says and Akash Baruch Hu tells him
Is he going to be smart or dumb? Strong or not strong? Rich or not strong? Or not
Does the
rich?
Kodesh Baruch Hu decree also if this baby will be a Rasha or a Tzaddik?
No.
No.
Why is that?
There's hakol b'dei shemayim chutz me'irat shemayim.
As the Pasuk says in Parashat Sekev,
ואל
Shenema.
תירש שמלך אשר עמך כי אם לרע עשי.
So Kodesh Baruch Hu asks us to have Yiras Shamayim. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says that there are 4 people that Kodesh Baruch Hu hates, and Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, also doesn't like. Can you give us an example of one of these people?
Whoever walks into his friend's house without knocking, and how much more so to his own house without knocking.
וגמור דרשן זה פסוק in בראשיש. שבו לכם פה עם החמור, that Avraham Avinu said. What is im hachamor? How is it darshaned?
I'm a dumb lechavor.
There are some things that if one does them, the Gemara says it's dangerous and damoy beroisho. Can you give us some examples?
Whoever peels an egg and leaves it overnight and then he eats it, and also garlic, he peels it, leaves it overnight and he eats it. Whoever cuts his nails and throws it to Rishus Harabim, and whoever drinks a liquid that was overnight.
And if one goes to sleep,
In the cemetery.
is peeled garlic always problematic?
No.
If he leaves,
The most or the peeled, so it's okay.
what is the problem with nails?
That a pregnant lady could walk over them and then she might lose her baby.
The one who throws them away, hazorkan,
Rasha.
hasorfan, one who
Chassid.
burns them, as a chassid and a kovran.
Tzaddik.
Initially, the Gemara limits this and says regarding the nails that if he cut his fingers, the problem is only if he cuts his fingers of both his hands and his toes in once, or he cuts them with scissors, or that he didn't cut anything after that. But then the Gemara says
You need to be careful in all these things.
there are 9 stores in the city that sell kosher meat. There is one store that sells treif. A person bought a piece of meat, but now he doesn't remember from what store he purchased it. This is a suffix. What do we do with this?
You can't eat it.
Why?
It's called kavod m'komer k'mertza al mertza dami.
And if it was found in the city, a piece of meat,
So you could eat it.
why?
Because we go after the majority.
Alecha chararov. There are 9 frogs. Frogs do not make a person tameh. But there's one sheretz that does make a person tameh. And one touches one of these 10, either the frogs or maybe with one sheretz, but he doesn't know what he touched. So if the suffix is in Rishus Harabim,
Taho.
because the sheretz is
Kavod
kavua,
m'komer. It's mertza al mertza. And in Rishus Harabim, mertza al mertza, tar. And Rishus Yachid, so it's tameh.
perfect. And what if it benimtza, in other words, one of these moved out of its regular place and we don't know which one moved,
So if the most are frogs, so he's not tameh.
and therefore he's
Whatever it is.
right. Nigei batim, where should the nega be in order for the house to become tameh?
In between 2 walls and 2 bricks.
In the corner,
Long, one grease and wide 2
grease.
grease.
the length is
2 grease and
and the width is 1. This is according to Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. One who says something Dvar Torah, in the name of whom he heard it from.
Vigalalam.
A woman gave birth to something which has the shape of a behema. According to Reb Meir, would she be Tmeas Leida?
Yes,
Why is this?
because it's written Yetzirah in people and in animals.
Vayitzer Hashem Elokim min Adam kol chayas hasadeh. And regarding man, it says Vayitzer es Adam, and therefore we do a.
Zerashal.
If that's the case, asks the Gemara.
Also taninim.
So should we say if a lady gives birth to something which is a tanin, since the word of Yetzira is also mentioned regarding that, maybe she should be tameh, because the pasuk says Vayiva Elokim es hataninim hagedolim. But we learned in the Mishnah that one who gives birth to something which, or miscarries something which looks like fish, is tehoira. Answers the Gemara.
There it says
Vayitzer.
Vayitzer, and there it says Vayivra.
And we do Gzeira Shava only
Vayitzer.
Yetzira. Or another answer, why is it that the woman will become tameh in case that she gave birth to something that looks like a behema, and she is not tameh when she gives birth to something which looks like a fish? Because
The eyes of a behemoth and a person are the same thing, but the fish eyes are not the same thing.
A third answer, why is it? Because of the fish, something else about the fish?
The eyes of the fish are on the sides. The eyes of the people and the animals are in front.
Rabbi Yirmiyah wanted to cause Rabbi Zera to laugh, to giggle. And therefore he asked him something. What did he ask him?
A lady miscarried something that looks like an animal.
So according to Rabbi Meir, who says that she is Meidas Leida,
So it's a person, let's say. Now, if the father got kedushin for that creature, is the person that gave the kedushin allowed to get married with the sister of that creature?
and the Gemara discusses this. Did Rabbi Zera in fact giggle?
No,
Why?
because he didn't want to giggle in this world.
He didn't want to even though this is permitted, he was machmir.
He was afraid that he's gonna laugh that you're not allowed.
A person shechta behema, and he finds inside something which looks like a yoina, like a dove. Is it allowed to be eaten?
No,
Why?
because it's written behema bebehema techelu.
And the yoina that is found inside does not have.
Prasot.
What if the behema gives birth to something that looks like a shape of a human being? Can you eat it?
The Gemara stays in a suffix.
Why is that? Because a man has.
Prasot.
A woman gave birth, a woman miscarried something which looks like the body is of a taish, but the face is like a person. Is it viewed like a person and the mother will be tmeya?
Yes.
What if the body is like of a person,
No.
but the face is like a taish?
No.
What if his face is like a person, but one eye is like a behema? Right? Says Reb Meir,
Tmea.
because
Because most of her faces.
has a tzuras adam. But Chachamim say,
No, she's not tmea because you need everything to be a tzura sadam.
very good. Some versions they change the opinions, the names of the opinions. Somebody who drinks more than he eats, his bones.
Or sufin.
Somebody who eats more than he drinks, his
They're
bones black. And one who drinks and eats appropriately, he doesn't increase, eat or drink, his
Meshuchin.
atzamos meshuchin. What was the size of the bone from the knee down of Oeg Melech Abashal? Abashal told the story. He used to be
Chavar Kadisha,
used to bury the dead. And once he ran after a deer,
and he walked on that bone of a person, and he ran for 3 parsais. He
To-
Still didn't finish.
the bone still didn't finish.
and when he came back, what did they tell him?
That was the bone of Oig Melech Bashan.
What more did Abashal tell?
He said once a
A cave was opened up
under me, and I fell inside an eyeball of somebody, and
of a dead person.
and I sink there until my nose.
And then they told him this eye was,
The eye of Shalom.
and maybe you'll say that Abashal was a midget.
No, it was really tall.
There are 5 things that the length is, or the shear is a tefach. Let's go one by one.
Shofar.
Shofar, minimum size of a shofar to be kosher is a tefach.
The lulav should be higher than the hadas at 1 tefach. Shilia,
That if a woman miscarries something which is smaller than that,
so it's nothing.
she's not tameya. What's the 4th thing?
Izov.
Is zov, which with?
To sprinkle on the Matzorah and the Paraduma.
And the 5th thing was?
A third doifen of a sukkah.
Perfect. But there are more things that their measure is a tefach. For example, the misgeris of the shulchan and the mikdash, the width or the thickness is tefach, and so too the kapoires. And there are other things. So why did we say there are only 5?
We're saying the things that's not written in the Torah. And Tosfos says these are the things that are me'akib.
Very good. A lady that miscarried the 40th day, does she have to sit the days of Tuma?
No, it's just water.
What does the embryo in the mother womb resemble?
To a little book, folded, his head is on his knees, his hands are on the side, his mouth is closed, and his belly button is open.
What does he eat?
What his mother eats,
What does he drink?
what his mother drinks.
Does he go to the bathroom while he's in the mother's womb?
No,
Why?
because then it'll kill the mother.
And what happens when he comes out to the world?
So the malach gives him a slap on his face.
What happens with his body?
Oh, his mouth opens up and his belly button closes.
Because if this wouldn't happen,
He wouldn't be able to live.
Does he have any light there?
Yeah.
A candle on his
candle
head.
on his head.
And how far can he see?
The whole world.
How can it be that he can see so far away?
Like in the dream, you could see in Africa. You could see Africa.
What are the best days of a person in his life?
In his mother's belly.
What else does he do there?
He learns Torah from a malach.
And what happens when he's about to leave?
He gives him a slap, then he forgets all the Torah.
And then they make him take a shvua.
יהיה צדיק ואל תהיה רשע, ואפילו כל העולם אומר שאתה צדיק תהיה בינך כרשע.
And you should
And
know
you should know that Hashem is Tahar and Shas are Taharim if you keep your neshama b'tahara mutav. And if not, so Hashem is going to take your neshama away.
Chevlei Leida, of whom is harsher, and the Kever or Zachal.
Nekeva.
There are three partners in creation of man.
His father, mother, and Hashem.
What does his father give?
Bones, the white in the eye, the hair, the nails, and the brain.
Not the hair. The hair is by the mother,
Okay,
and the
brain.
gidim,
And
the sinews. And his mother gives
the meat, the hair, the skin,
the flesh,
The hair.
the black of the eye, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives
the neshama,
Ruach u'Neshama.
Bina,
Hilukh
class of body, how you
רגליים.
look, הילוך
הילוך
רגליים,
רגליים.
ראיית העיניים, שמיעת האוזן, דיבור פה.
כיסא הפנים.
Very good. And what happens when a person's time is up and he's about to die?
So Hashem takes his part in the neshama and tells the parents, here's your part.
The Gemara says sometimes a person that a miracle was performed for him doesn't even recognize the miracle. Can you give an example?
The Gemara says two people wanted to go and do business and they wanted to make it to the ship. One got in the ship and one didn't because a thorn went into his foot. And it was really sad. But after days that ship sank and then he heard about it.
And then he realized it was all miracle that the thorn went into his foot. Ba zachar la'olam,
In Kikari Beyadai.
which means the mezonis will not be lacking. How long is a woman pregnant for?
271 days.
Gematria of that is?
Hirayon.
Who is the Tana who is always choishesh lemiut?
מale. God male.
From what age do we check the vows of a girl if she knows what vows means and whom she made the vow to?
11 and 12.
And the age of a boy?
12 to 13.
How is this period called?
Oinas Anadarim.
What does a woman have that a man doesn't have?
Bina.
Bina Yeseira. Sheneemar?
Vayiven Hashem Elokim et Hatzela.
Anything that has a kaskesis by definition has,
A snapir.
if it has a snapir by definition doesn't have a kaskesis.
No.
If that's the case, when we find one kaskesis, we know that it has a snapir and it's kosher. So why does the Torah need to write the snapir as a sign of purity as well?
Yad Mutera v'Yader.
Anything which requires a bracha achroina,
Requires a bracha rishona.
anything which requires a bracha rishona requires a bracha achroina.
No.
For example,
Because Reach.
Rashi explains why is that.
Because it's a no muetes.
Therefore, it only requires a bracha rishona, but not a bracha achroina. What did Eov claim against HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
Maybe mixed up in between Oyev and Eov.
What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu respond?
Each person has a lot of hair, and each hair has a little hole in the head that's where it grows from. And if two hairs grow from one hole, so the person is going to be blind. And I don't get mixed up in that. So in Oyev and Eov, I'm going to get mixed up?
Minatoira, a skin of a person who died, is it tahor or tameh?
Toho.
So why do we count it as tameh?
Sheyase olos avivei mashtichin lechamlo.
So what is this?
A gzeira.
Gzeras Rabbana. So Tosfos asks, why was it necessary to have this gezerah? They will not come to do that because or hames also behana. The first answer is
Because gzeras tuma was more chomer in their eyes than gzeras hano me'amet.
and the second teretz.
The or, there's no gzera hano
It's not also behana.
on skin.
Does everybody agree to this second teretz?
No, the Rifa doesn't.
Anybody who can be a dayan in dinei nefashos, can he be a dayan in dinei mamonos?
Yes.
Yes.
Can anyone who can be a judge in dinei mamonos be a judge in dinei nefashos?
No.
Anybody who's kosher to be a dayan, is he kosher to testify?
Yes.
If he's kosher to testify, by definition, can he become a dayan?
No.
No.
For example,
Whoever's blind in one of his eyes,
that he can be a,
Dayan, but he can't be a Dayan.
he cannot be a dayan, but he can be
Aid.
a witness. Anything which is chayav in maisos, it is food and it's metame tumas oichlin. Everything is metame tumas oichlin chayav b'maisos.
No.
For example,
Meat, eggs,
and fish, which are exempt from maisos. What is the meaning of the machloikis, the principle of ad ve'ad bichlal or ad velo ad bichlal?
When I say I went until the house, does it mean I went until the house and then I stopped? Or I went until the house and I went also inside the house?
One who hears lashon hara, that somebody is going to damage him, to harm him, is he allowed to believe it?
No,
That
it's
was
not.
it. But it's allowed to l'chshush.
What is the family connection between Sichon and Oig?
They're brothers.
So why does the Torah say that Moshe was afraid only of Oig?
Because Oig had a schus that he told Avraham that Lord was in the Shevi.
Vayavo hapalit. Why is he called a palit?
Because he niflat mibdor rabul.
If you have a garment made of flax, pishtan, and they put in one thread of wool, the entire garment is called kilaim, it's shatnez. But now you don't know where that thread of wool is. Is it batel beroiv?
No.
Can you sell it to a goy?
No.
Why?
Because he might sell it to a Jew.
So what can you do with it?
You could put it tachlichim for a mess.
Why?
Because we're not afraid somebody's going to use tachlichim because they're asurim b'ana.
Perfect. What did Rav Yosef understand from this?
That la'asid lava, there's not going to be any more mitzvahs because we're not afraid that this mess is going to wake up in Tches HaMesim and have shatnez on him.
How does Abai reject this?
They have it on them just in the hesped.
And not in the burial. But there is an opinion that even during burial, you can actually bury a dead person with the shatnez. From here you see the Shita of Rabbi Yochanan that says, Kevan shemes Adam
Nasa chavshim min mitzvahs.
asks the Kovetz Shurim, Rebbe Elchanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikom Damo Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, an amazing shaila. There's a principle in Yiddishkeit.
One of the shloisha sarikarim is that just Torah lo yisehim muchlefes.
And so according to what you're saying, the mitzvahs are going to be cancelled in the future. This goes against this principle. How does Rebbe Elchanan answer?
That one of the dinim in the Torah is that after the person is dead, he's done. So that is going to wake up. It's like he doesn't need to do the mitzvah anymore because he's already done.
So there is no new din, there is just a new mitzias. What does Rav Ramba Papa suggest to do with this garment that you lost? You don't know exactly where the thread of wool is.
To paint it.
To dye it, correct. Why is that going to help you?
Because the wool
Absorbs
the dye better, so then you're going to see where the thread is.
And if then you still don't see it,
So you could say it, you could assume that it fell already by itself.
and then you can use it. What is an Isha Katlanis, a lethal woman?
That her husband's died.
How many husbands?
2.
Or 3.
Machlokes. What happens to her now?
She can't get married anymore.
What is the essence of this machlokes?
If Chazakah is 2 or 3.
Let's talk about chatzitza in dinei tvila. Medin toya, a person's majority of his body or of his hair. Once there is a chatzitza and he is makpid, he is fussy about it, he intends to take it off.
Choitzet.
How about ruboy, the majority, but he is not makpid on it?
From the Rabbanon, not from...
From Dioraisa, it's not choitzitz. But the Rabbanon,
Choitzet.
why? Why did they decree that?
Because we might say, if Ruboy that you don't makpid, it's okay. So I'm going to say that also Ruboy makpid, it's okay.
And what else did they decree? Mi'utoy ha-makpid,
Mishim Ruboy makpid.
because if they would say mi'utoy makpid is okay,
They would say also Ruboy makpid is okay.
so why didn't they decree about mi'uto she'eino makpid mishum mi'uto ha-makpid?
Because you can't gzera and gzera.
Correct. When one goes into the mikveh, does he have to close his eyes real tight?
No.
Should he open the eyes real hard, real wide?
No.
Why?
Not allowed. Because the water is not going to go into those little places.
And that will form a chatzitza. The people of Alexandria asked Rabbi Yeshua ben Hanani a few questions. One pasuk says, Ki lo echpotz b'mois hames. However, there's another pasuk that says, Ki chafetz Hashem lehamisam. How can you reconcile these psukim?
This is before Tshuva, this is after Tshuva.
Correct. There's a pasuk that says, Ki lo yisa panim. However, there's another pasuk that says, Yisa Hashem pano veilecha.
This is before Exalting, this is after Exalting.
Correct. They asked further, the wife of Lot, who became a pillar of salt, is she metame? They asked him, Ben Shunamis, that Elisha Hanavi revived when he resurrects, is he metame? What did he answer them?
Mes metame, not a chai metame.
Mesim la'ased lova. When there's bitchiyas mesim spitali in our days, will they require sprinkling on the third and seventh day or not? What did he answer?
We'll see. Or when Moshe Rabbeinu will come and test Mason, we'll ask him.
They asked further, what should a person do to become wise? What did he answer?
He should lemad b'schayra and yama b'yeshiva.
What did they answer?
We didn't. It didn't help.
Harbe asuken velo ho'il. So therefore, what did he answer?
So he needs to ask from Hashem.
If that's the case, ask the Gemara, why didn't he respond like that initially?
We need two of them, not one by itself.
They asked him more. What should a person do in order to become rich?
He should yama b'schayra and yisav yitin be'emunah.
So they told him.
We didn't. It didn't help.
Many did this and it didn't work for them. So therefore he responded.
We need to daven.
If that's the case, why didn't he answer you need to daven immediately?
Because we need two of them. One without the other one won't help.
Correct. We should be the Chachayim and the Ashirim so we'll be able to support Torah. Eliyahu Hanovi asked us something. The last question, Masechet Nida, and in fact the last question on the entire Shas Bavli. What did Eliyahu Hanovi teach us? And with that we end the Masechet.
כל השנה, לא לשמור על יום, מוב תחת שובר על הבמה. It's okay.
Simen toiv umazel toiv simen toiv yeh lanu lechol Yisrael Asherchem talmidei chachomim shedivrei Yisrael chavivim aleichem.
Torah Hashem temimo, Torah Hashem temimo, Torah Hashem temimo, Meshivas nofesh.
Vezakeni legadre, bonim uvenei bonim, chachamim unevonim, oyavei Hashem yirei Elokim, anshei yemes zera kodesh ma'ashemet vekim, umeir mesoilom b'torah u'masim tovim u'b'chol meleches avodas haboreh, umeir mesoilom b'torah u'masim tovim u'b'chol meleches avodas haboreh. Shkoyer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
חנוכה תשע סיום הש"ס. תנות ואליהו, כל אשר נהלוכת בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא, שנאמר הליכויס ואלוהים לוי, אל תקרי הליכויס אלא הלכויס. הדם לך תנגת וסליקו למסכת נידה. הדם לך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי והדרכה. הדם לך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי ודאית לך. וניסי שמינך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי וניסי שמינון לבעל מדעים ולבעל מדעסי. הדם לך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי והדרכה. דאית לך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי ודאית לך. וניסי שמינך מסכת נידה ומסכת הערות וש"ס בבלי וניס משיימינו לבעל מדעים ולבעל מדעסי. הדרה לך מסכת נידה וסדר תערוס וש"ס בבלי ודאית לך. והדרה לך. דאית לך מסכת נידה וסדר תערוס וש"ס בבלי ודאית לך. וניס משיימינו מסכת נידה וסדר תערוס וש"ס בבלי וניס משיימינו לבעל מדעים ולבעל מדעסי. יהיה רצון לפניך אדינו אלוהינו ולא יחפשנו. סיסו זכרנו ונצינו בעולם הזה וזה עמנו לעולם הבא. חנינה בר פאפה, רמי בר פאפה, נחמן בר פאפה, אחי בר פאפה, אבא מור בר פאפה, אפרם בר פאפה, רכיש בר פאפה, סוחה בר פאפה, עדה בר פאפה, דור בר פאפה. הרמנו אדינו ישראל שסוף אפינו ולפיוי סמכה בישראל ונהיה כולנו אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי מכה בישראל כולנו ידי שמך ולומדי תורתך ויבית ארצנו ותזכר לאלוהים הילי הילי דיבצה בשמים מחוקך מן לא יבוש לעולם לא ישכח פיקודיך כי בם חיצני באור אתה אדינו ילמדנו חוקך אמן 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 צלווי כמו הייתם אנחנו לפניך אדינו אלינו לארצנו שמת חלקינו משבי סמלת ושמנו חלקינו משבי קולש שאנו משקים לדיהם משקים אנו משקים לדי בישר ומשקים לדברים בתהילים
אנו מלווים המילים, אנו המילים קוראים לשכר, והם המילים אינם קוראים לשכר. אנו רוצים לחבל העבר, והם רוצים לבר שחת. שמור ועצמו ידיהם חרדים לבר שחת, אנשי דם ימורים ולא יחצים מהם עלים ותחבור. יוצאים לפניך אדוני אליהם, שם שהשטן יציין מסכת נידה, סרט הערוץ ושס בבלי. כן תעזרי להסכים מסכת וסור לכם ולציימה. ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברתם ולעשות באהבה. וזכות כל התלמידים והמורים ותלמידי חכמים יעמוד לזהו לשלם של תורה מדגי, מפי זרי וזרע זרי עד לעולם. ותתקיים בצלפך תלכו לעסוק, ושכבך תשמור עליו ותצא איש שיחך. כדביר בימך ועשיב שכב שני ישראל. אור חמים בשמאלו בשמאלו ישכחו. אני לא אסתמכה על דיני וישראל ושכבו בשלט.
כואב, מזל טוב, מזל טוב.